The real reason why you lack confidence. So, growing up, as you know, I love playing basketball. It was almost my way of being able to communicate with other people, being my way to fit in, being my way to make friends. But also, it did serve as an escape for me because being home just wasn't the place to be. And that's a whole backstory that I won't get into. But please understand, basketball was everything. And the reason why is because the people that I looked up to, the people that looked like me, they all play basketball. And from there, they're able to be on these big stages, make a lot of money, and have a lot of fun, right? And who wouldn't want that as a 13, 14, 15-year-old, right? One of the first games I can remember watching was with my dad, and it was Kobe Bryant when he played in the 2000 finals with, obviously with the Lakers, but he played against Allen Iverson. And I remember watching that finals and seeing just how dominant he and Shaq was. And it was something that always kind of drew me to playing basketball. I wanted to be, kind of like Kobe, if you will. And that was something that always stuck out to me. But here's the thing. The biggest thing that I struggled with was my confidence on the basketball court because I never wanted to take a shot and miss it. So therefore, I just didn't take any shots. But the thing that I quickly realized is that by not taking shots, I wasn't having any fun because I wasn't making any shots. Growing up, who wouldn't want to be Kobe? Who wouldn't want to be Jordan or all these greats that we've seen? But there was just this great big fear of what if I missed? And from that, it stopped me from being the player that I wanted to be deep down. I wanted to be the guy that was scoring all the points, taking and hitting the game winning shot. But like I said, I always had that fear. And the thing is that fear didn't just stay on the court, but it followed me off the court as well. Off the court, I was afraid to talk to girls. I was afraid to make friends. I was afraid to take chances in my business. I was afraid to, quit my job. Like, it was so many things that I was afraid of doing because I didn't want to fail, right? And I knew what failure looked like before. And it was something that was painful, something that I thought that I couldn't deal with again. So I stayed safe. And by staying safe, you also stay unfulfilled. You stay depressed. You stay anxious as well. And it's not a good place to be quite frank. So I want to talk to you guys about the real reason why you lack confidence. And one thing that I want to show you is actually a video from Kobe where he talks about confidence, but more so he talks about fear.
What I try to do is just try to be still and understand that things come and go, emotions come and go. The important thing is to accept them all, to embrace them all, and then you can choose to do with them what you want versus being controlled by emotion. A lot of times I've seen players, even myself, when I was younger, being consumed by a particular fear. And to the point where you're saying, okay, nah, it's not good to feel fear. I shouldn't be nervous in a situation like that. And it does nothing but grow versus stepping back and saying, yeah, I am nervous about the situation. Yeah, I am fearful about the situation. Well, what am I afraid of? And then you kind of unpack it. And then it gives you the ability to look at it for really what it is, which is nothing more than your imagination running its course.
All right, from that video, you should see kind of where Kobe is coming from when it talks about fear and how you should actually allow fear to be there, that it's okay, that it's just like any other emotion, and that you should accept it and embrace it. Because the real reason why you are lacking confidence is because you have a bad and a faulty definition of what confidence is. Something that I always ask my clients in my sessions when they're asking me about confidence is, what is confidence? I ask them to define it for me because from there I can see if there's something fundamentally wrong with their definition that's making them feel or believe as if they don't have confidence right now when in actuality they do. And also, I have my son here with me for another episode. So if you hear some sneezing or coughing, it's my son here. When I ask them, they normally say something like this. When it comes to the definition of confidence, they normally say something like, it's not being afraid. It's not having negative thoughts. It's being 100% sure of yourself and believing in yourself. And that is a portion of what confidence is. That's something that can happen when you have confidence. But that is not the complete definition of confidence, because that version of confidence equals perfection. And how many of us are perfect? Not too many of us. And if you're waiting to be perfect first before you take that first step, you're going to be waiting for a long time. So it's better that I give you a new definition of what confidence is. So confidence is your willingness to take action towards your values. That is it. And the key word here is the willingness. Because here's the thing. I cannot guarantee that fear won't show up. I can't guarantee that negative thoughts won't show up. But if you're willing to still take actions towards your values, even when those things are present, that shows that you are confident. And I love using the other word, the other C word, which is courageous. Being able to take actions when fear is there shows that you're strong, shows that you have this ability to be open and accepting of any emotion that comes. By having this new definition, it allows you to take action rain or sunshines, right? I always like to say emotions are kind of like the weather. By having this definition, what I've realized in my life is that I don't have to be perfect outwardly, but internally as well, in order to take steps towards what it is that I care about. And the funny thing is as you take steps towards the things that you care about, you start to feel more confident. And that's the biggest thing that I can tell you. Confidence is not always going to be there at first. It is something that you have to build. But if you're willing to build it brick by brick, you will look up and you'll find that you have confidence in this one area that you previously didn't. But what's even beautiful about that is that if you don't have the feelings of confidence, you were still able to be successful in whatever it is that you did. So I'll give you an example. If you were to go into an interview and not feel confident, but yet still get a job, would you care if you were confident during the interview? You wouldn't. You'd be so excited that you got the job that you wouldn't even be thinking about how you were feeling during that time. And the beautiful thing about that is that actually happened to one of my clients. They actually told me that there's a job that they wanted to apply for and they wanted to get some practice. So what they did was they applied for a job that was beyond that job that they originally wanted. So in other words, they applied for 2 positions above where they were. And they went through the interview and they're actually shocked that they got hired for the job that they interviewed for. So they went from being, I guess, like a regular employee to skipping the manager role to now becoming a director in their position, at their career, if you will. And that's something that they did while they were anxious. She came back to our session and told me, Coach, I was afraid. I was nervous. I was so nervous that the interviewer told me, hey, you don't need to be nervous. Just answer the questions. And that's really what you need to do. And this is where, and I'll actually do another podcast on this, but this is where mindfulness really comes in when it helps you to be confident. I have a course that I created where I talk about the 7 secrets of building ironclad confidence. And one of those secrets is being able to use your mindfulness to cut through any self-doubt that you may have. Because by being focused, it allows you to put all your energy, all your focus on the actual actions and not the things that your mind is saying. So this is why you're lacking confidence, is because you have a bad definition of what confidence is. Please believe me when I say you do not need to have no fear. You don't need to be free of negative thoughts. You don't need to have a perfect mind in order to be confident. Really, it's your willingness to follow your values no matter what shows up, externally or internally as well. So with that being said, guys, take care, be safe, and definitely leave a comment below so I can get to know you guys a little bit more during these podcasts. All right, later, guys.